Shit. Got my nigga Cheese in this bitch. Midwest UGK, nigga. Oh, you already know. Shit. I said my hands on this money. I'm caught up in this lifestyle. This 100-round drummy. It'll knock a nigga right down. My dope on my scale. It be knocking watch lights out. My spot do be booming. I'm caught up in this lifestyle. My hands on this money. I'm caught up in this lifestyle.
Welcome to 3300 Trap Street. It's time for that Coach for the Streets. Ain't no news like street news. Whether you're here for the streets or you're here for the news, stay tapped in by tapping that like and subscribe button, man. And welcome to the show, man. We got to talk about it today, man. We got to get into the Youngboy's M.A.S.A tour. It's charting, it's streaming heavy. The tickets are selling. He's selling out everywhere he go. And you got mixed feelings about what's going on right now because we watching an industry full of people struggle to sell tickets, struggle to move units, and most of the time, us as content creators and YouTubers and bloggers / quote-unquote media outlets, we tend to talk about all the negative things that's going on in the industry. So we got to elaborate on some of the things that's going on in the industry that's actually good. And in this case, we done watched Youngboy go through a lot in the last few years. So to see what's going on right now with Youngboy and to see the success of the M.A.S.A tour, especially in the midst of a lot of people doubting him even being able to accomplish what he's accomplished so far, back-to-back shows in Dallas, going to Houston. Basically, his whole Houston run, his whole Texas run was sold out. He's selling out everywhere he goes. So it shows you that his presence never left, even though this man was on house arrest for a long time. I think we seeing, and no, I'm not going to sit here and say Youngboy is the best rapper and all of that because it's not his people that, but his star power is crazy because his star power is so, to be his age, the star power he has, he makes his friends famous. They don't have to put no songs out. They don't really have to do what other crews and cliques got to do in the industry as far as being by Youngboy's side, because with Youngboy got the ability to you just stand by Youngboy and you gain so much notoriety to whatever you got going on or just you as a person because Youngboy is that big. And that's not saying Dirk ain't big too, because Dirk is big, but I think we dealing with two different types of fans when we talk about Dirk and Youngboy. Youngboy got everybody outside right now. They in these shows wearing shiesty masks. They crying with the shiesty mask on. They waving green flags all over the arena. He turning everything green in the process. They singing all the songs word for word. And we talking about this somebody that's at the front of the new generation. Top is at the top of this generation right now. And we get to see it live. Every stop he make, we seeing what his impact on the industry, his impact on the game, his influence on his fans in a big way. And he doing all of this allegedly being blackballed from the game. He's able to come out, sell tickets, and be blackballed. We watching rappers struggle right now. You got Lil Baby canceling shows here. You got a lot of, it's not just Lil Baby, you got a lot of artists that's canceling shows right now because the ticket sales may be too high. The artist demand might not be as high for the promoters to make their money back booking these artists. So these shows are getting canceled. Meanwhile, we see Youngboy outside. He traveling. He popping up at these shows. The shows are full. The people at these shows going crazy. And I mean, I done been to a lot of concerts, right? But one thing about concerts, everybody don't entertain at the concerts and everybody react differently. You might have half of the place going crazy and the other half they just chilling. But at this show right here, these phones is lit up. They green flags is out. Youngboy barely rapping because they doing all the rapping. They know all the songs. The songs are recharting because of the tour. His streams are doubling Lil Baby and Lil Durk combined right now. He done added more dates to the tour. And people don't want to give him his flowers, man. And I think that's the problem with today. Like, we don't like to give people their flowers when we should. That's what keep the culture alive, us giving people their flowers. When we see them succeeding, we'll give Drake his flowers. We'll give whoever's successful that we admire in the game they flowers. They gave Diddy his flowers. Before all this fell down on Diddy, we gave Diddy his flowers until we seen the dark side of Diddy down the road. My whole point is, it's hard to succeed in this industry, especially when the industry itself don't support you. So we got to power the ones that we see succeeding when the industry don't want to push them to the top. What we seeing is Top's fans keeping him in a position to always be in conversation with the people that's at the top already, with the system behind them. We watching a young nigga that don't have the industry system behind them operate in a manner that makes you think like how, or wonder, how is he able to do this? Loyal fans. To be able to be in the house for years like that on house arrest, not to be able to reach out and touch your fans, them not to be able to see you on stage for years like that. Some people lose their following. Some people lose their buzz. Some people lose everything. NBA Youngboy didn't lose nothing. These shows is packed. Lit up. Now, I done been to a lot of shows. In the process of being there, it's certain times that people pull their phone out and cut their lights on so they can get certain moments. They light it up, or the artists come out, tell everybody to light it up. Pay attention to every stop Youngboy go to. They lighten it up everywhere. And it stay lit up. When the cameras get into the crowd, you got niggas with shiesty masks on, crying. Niggas kneeling. Niggas getting their hair cut in the crowd because they don't want to miss nothing at the concert. They got their barber with the clippers in the crowd, cutting their hair. It's loud, everything going on. We seeing a bunch of craziness, but these are the fans of NBA Youngboy, man. Look at this. Look at this. At concerts, it's normal to see females starstruck when they see the performer come out, and it's the headliner. We used to that. But you're going to see a lot of this right now at these YB shows. He putting that type of energy in the atmosphere. And we talking about somebody that's coming out doing 30 to 50 songs, and their energy is like this the whole time. Look at this nigga, man. Look at Casanet, man. The nigga crying. If you didn't know who was on stage, you'd think he'd be crying because Beyonce stepped out. Nigga, Youngboy up there, this nigga crying. Look at that, lit up. Look at this. They going crazy in there, man. And you can't knock this because these the vibes that hip hop need back, man. Like hip hop been in a negative state for a long time. Even for us YouTubers, we're talking about rappers 95% of the time. And 95%, 100% of the time, we talking about the negativity of the artists. We talking about them going to jail, what they did to go to jail, what they homeboy did, why they catching a Rico, somebody got smoked, caught with a switch, niggas telling. We talking about everything when it comes to the rap game, the music industry. We talking about everything but what come with the music. The record sales, the streams, artists getting good deals, artists working with each other. The unity in hip-hop ain't none of that shit, man. We talking about these niggas like we watching reality TV, man. And we only see the bad parts. We got to salute the people when we see them doing good, man. We got to salute the Drakes. We got to salute the young boys. We got to salute Dirks because he was doing great before he ended up in this situation. And I hope Dirk make it out of this situation to come back home and do great. Because I ain't wishing jail on nobody. But we ain't seen this in a long time, especially when it comes to the young generation of hip hop, man. It's not too many people that can come out and give that whole arena on a consistent night in, night out basis, this type of energy to the point where they're waiting for this to happen, bruh. Like, come on, look, read some of these comments, man. They said there haven't been many hip-hop tours as impactful as NBA Youngboy's first arena tour. And that real-world impact is proven that the 20-year-old rapper is ready to be mentioned amongst the biggest stars in hip-hop, from fans crying at shows, getting on their knees to praise him, and everything in between. This show has had everything. What makes this special is the fans choose him. Never had a traditional radio hit or been a major platform, but he's selling out arenas. He got a point. Dude said 26 albums and I don't know one song. And you're going to have people like that too that really don't know him. We from a different generation, so we not supposed to be, he's not supposed to be our favorite like he's a 22-year-old, a 17-year-old, 16-year-old's favorite. It's just not supposed to be like that. DJ Main Course said, I'm happy to see this. I'm 47, so NBA Youngboy is not my regular rotation, but as a DJ, I am familiar with his music and his impact on younger audience. I ain't mad. I'm glad to see he's really giving a good show. On side note, I DJ'd a party for a kid who was turning 13. I grew up with his dad, so I got the gig. I swear all they wanted to hear was NBA Youngboy. The requests were overwhelming because I didn't have every song they wanted to hear. I mean, they legit wanted me to play his albums in entirety, back to back to back. True story. Man, they just like this dude, man. And I'm older, so I like some of his music. But when it comes to his work ethic, how I see he take care of people around him, even Even his exes, he ain't with them, but he still take care of them. You know what I mean? Nobody gets along all the time. Nobody's perfect. But one thing about Youngboy, he also wears his heart on his sleeve. You gonna see him happy. You gonna see him sad. You gonna see him mad. He'll show you that. So we know he an emotional person. A lot of artists are shelter a lot of that. Throw it in the closet. They don't want you to see a lot. And I think that's another reason why so many young people buy into Youngboy, because some of the emotions that he showed, a lot of young people had that. So they relate to that. If you get what I'm saying. And in Youngboy case, look what's in the crowd. It's a bunch of older people. Yeah, you might see some close to 30-year-olds in the crowd too, but they was young when Youngboy started taking off too, so they became fans at a young age. They just happen to be a little bit older than they were now. So you look at them like, what is wrong with this dude? He 30, but nigga, when Youngboy came out, he might have been, you know what I'm saying? He was 20. It's hitting different. It's just different. I can't remember the last rap tour that has captivated this target audience like this. I'm in there September 20th. You know, see, people can't wait to go. You got people that got mixed feelings about whatever, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? We got to salute the ones that's doing good. YB doing good right now. And it could have went bad for YB when he caught those cases. But to get pardoned and then come home and take off like this, you know what I'm saying? I hope the same thing happened for Dirk. I hope Dirk get up out this. And I hope Dirk come home. And I hope Dirk get right back to it. We seen Boosie do it. We seen a lot of artists do it, but a lot of artists can't do it. And we watch Top do it without the major label push. And that's why you got to salute Birdman too, because at the end of the day, Birdman partly responsible. You know, sometimes the people that are listen to you, they show you they got a certain amount of respect for you. So sometimes those people got to be around to kind of voice their perspective, because they know it registers when you listen to it, when you know when they say it, because you might be one of them ones that don't listen to everybody because you a boss yourself. And I think YB not only looks up to Birdman, I think he listened to him too. And that's why you see Birdman on tour with YB. It's a lot on the line. This tour is projected to make about 50 million. You see what I'm saying? Or more. But the outcome of the tour, the success of the tour, and the success that YB having right now, YB could be we don't know where YB could be, because right now he's showing us that regardless how you feel about him, the fans love him. And when the fans love you like they love a Drake, a Kendrick, a YB, a Dirk, it's hard for you to be canceled. It's hard for you to be blackballed. All the artists took some, you know, they took Dirk's side. And, you know, I'm pretty sure YB felt some type of betrayal behind that. And you can't really fault them for that, because, you know, you're dealing with certain people and they show you that they picking a side, you know, you're going to feel a certain type of way about that. And now, you know what I'm saying people got to watch you when the tables turn. They got to watch your success. They got to watch you peak. They got to watch the people admire what you doing. And why you doing that, they might not be doing so good. They might not be doing so good. You did what I'm saying. But, you know, Shout out to NBA Youngboy 4K Trey, man, and the M.A.S.A tour, because it's kind of it's a sight to see, because hip hop been so negative lately. We haven't had a chance to really enjoy it. Most of our favorite artists going to jail, crashing out. They get the bag and fumble it. So we don't get to see them reach their peaks. We don't get to see their fans enjoy them at these shows and these concerts. We don't get to see them make it to the arena level or the stadium level or the headline tour level, because they're crashing out. A year or two ago, he's watching him and Dirk go back and forth. YB was on house arrest. He couldn't move around like that. So it was no tours for YB. Meanwhile, Dirk everywhere. Meanwhile, Dirk succeeding. Now Dirk sitting down. YB on tour, cleaning up. Really ain't nobody in his way, and his fans is showing up at every stop. How can you really knock that when that's something that hip hop need right now? That's something the rap game need right now. We need to see rappers succeeding right now. These niggas is dropping albums and coming out and selling 8,000, 9,000 units first week. That's terrible. We talking about a 24, 25-year-old that got 80 to 100 plaques already. The industry don't want to mess with him. But his fans keep him where he need to be. You can't blackball that. So the ones that did pick a side got to sit back and watch him eat. The table done turned. You feel what I'm saying? The tables have turned. But we got to get into this Trey Good situation, right? Because it's crazy right now, man. A Delta State student was found. You know what I mean? I don't even want to say it, but you know what I'm saying. And rest in peace to Trey Reed, and condolences and prayers to the family. And I hope it's justice for Trey Reed. You know what I'm saying? But we got to get into this video, man. This is the lawyer of the family speaking about what's going on. And once again, man, prayers to the family and condolences, because we living in some dark times, man. Not only in the rap game, in our communities, and it's almost like the world don't see eye to eye. And then we seeing things like this that make us have to revisit things that happened consistently in the past like this. So it's not a good thing, bro. It's not a good thing.
University, and to tell them exactly what happened to their child that they entrusted to Delta State University. As we move forward, we're just looking for answers that a simple camera on the university's campus will answer. There are a lot of unanswered questions here, and the family just wants some answers from top officials at the university and at the coroner's office. Does anyone have any questions? Yes.
What do you feel like specifically is the family, and I know this legal sympathy to your family, what do you feel like specifically does the family disagree with?
Well, at this point,
the investigation so far, what would justice look like?
at this point, justice would look like transparency. Justice looks like some personalization that this young man that we entrusted to Delta State University, that you care.
You see this house in Florida? Well, let me show you how I invested into it with just a few $100.
Yes. I actually have Trey's uncle, his uncle who's the pastor of this church, and he will come forward and tell you a little bit about Trey.
Thank you. We bring you greetings from Living Faith Miracle Temple Church of God in Christ here in the city of Grenada. And on behalf of Prophet Reed, and whom will be my nephew, that's right, and who I've been knowing for, let me get one of my mic, well, that'd be good, I'll use these here, whom I've been knowing for a very long time. He graduated here, I believe it might have been 2 years ago, or maybe going on 3 years now. He graduated. When he graduated, he usually come here. Most every other Sunday he would be here to attend the church here. And he was one of the type of young men that he was very obedient. And when I talk to him, I always tell him, he always tell me that he had a plan for his life. And many things he wanted. One thing he said he wanted to be a truck driver. He wanted to go to college, he wanted to be a truck driver, because that's what I once was for nearly 30 years. And that's what he wanted to be. And he would come here laughing, so joyful, a happy young man. And right now we are, along with the family here, the Reed family, we just want answers. We just really want answers. Because a young man like that, he wasn't a street young man. You know, sometimes we got people that in the streets and this and that. He wasn't that type of person. He didn't do any of those things. So that's why we are so concerned about what's going on. We're getting mixed information. We're hearing everything on the media. So we just want the truth. That's all we're looking for. Because he was a young man, I really loved it. And so right now, that's what we're looking for. And I thank the Lord for my niece. Thank God for her and all of my relatives that are here on today. So that's about all I have to say right now. I thank you so much for your support and finding out, yes, bringing the truth to the light. That's what we're looking forward for. Thank you.
Anyone else have any additional questions? Yes, go right ahead.
Kevin versus Pacific Press. Has anyone from Baltimore County involved in the investigation of the community to the family?
No, they have not. No, they have not. And that's one of the reasons for the urgency of this press conference, because the family is getting all of their information secondhand through the news, and we want that to stop today. It will stop today. And the officials from Delta State University, the coroner's office, you will communicate directly with this family and not through the media. And we want answers, and we're going to launch our own independent investigation to get those answers if Delta State University won't cooperate with us, if the local coroner's office won't cooperate with us, and hopefully the state coroner.
That's where everything be going left for me, because if something happened to your loved one and you supposed to depend on these people to find justice as far as what happened to your family member, and they telling you they don't feel like it was no wrongdoing, or they not really assisting like you feel. It makes you feel like they hiding something, or they had something to do with something. They know something. Because if this was somebody else, let's just be honest. School be closed. It be police dogs everywhere. They be Nigga, they be flipping everything upside down, trying to get some clues, figure out, and I'm checking every cameras. I'm talking about they be at fast food spots. Let me see your camera if it's aimed toward that way. Like, they trying to, nigga, CCTV. But instead, we gotta hope sometimes, because the help ain't coming all the time for us like that. And we see it with stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? To us, this should be serious to anybody, because this could happen to anybody. It should never be allowed to even be attempted to be covered up. But if we react the way we want to react about things like this, they gonna point the finger at us and say we wrong for feeling how we feeling or doing what we would do based off how we feel about the situation. But you ain't helping. You ain't giving us no real answers. So people got to come out and beg for some type of help to solve what's going on, to get some understanding about what happened to their loved one. This shit crazy. And you don't even see everybody talking about it as much as they should. But soon as it's one of your relatives with something around their neck, dangling from something, you gonna want all the microphones in front of you, all the paparazzi in front of you, the news channel outside in front of your house. You're gonna be you're gonna be pressing your local PD for answers. But because you don't know this dude, because you don't know the family, it ain't that important. It was more talk about Charlie Kirk. We don't know him. I don't know him. And I ain't wish what happened to him on him either. Because I don't wish that on nobody. But we should be talking about this too just as much. Because how many times it got to happen for it to become important to us, a concern to us? We be overlooking shit so much, it's retarded.
Office will cooperate, and so that this family just will not just, this happened yesterday, February the 15th, 2025. The media knew about his Trey's death before the family did. Now, what justice, what right would you communicate with the media prior to communicating with this family as if this young man's life meant nothing? But moving forward ahead, we will seek answers independently from Delta State University and from the coroner's office, and if need be, independent from the state coroner's office, because we need answers as to what happened to Trey Reed. Were there should have been cameras at the university that could easily enlighten us as to what happened in the early mornings of September 15th of 2025. That's easy. A lot of the questions that we have, the answers should be quite easy to answer. Because if this young man was on the campus of Delta State University with all these cameras and all this modern technology, from the moment he left his dorm room or entered that campus, there should be surveillance of all of his actions. And that's what we want. Bring the surveillance, bring the cameras, so that we'll know exactly what happened to Trey Reed.
What year was
This was actually his first year at the university. Actually, I think he was just at the university 1 month.
He ain't even win a whole semester. We talking about a young man that didn't even get to experience a whole semester in college. And as a teenager, when you graduate and you got dreams and aspirations of going to college and becoming something else, you excited about that. So I'm pretty sure he was excited about going to Delta State, not even knowing. You wasn't going. A month is crazy, man. A month is crazy, man. 31 days is crazy to me because that means from the day you got there, it was some kind of problem. Whether you had knowledge of it or not, he had some type of issue. Somebody had some type of issue with him. Look at what happened.
A brand new student, full of life, eager to be there. So the family wants answers as to how they sent this young, fun-loving young man to Delta State University, and now we're coming with a heinous crime. And as we stand here today, the Reed family, we're not going to point fingers at anybody. We're not going to call anybody any names. All we want is answers from technology. That's all we want, and then we can go to a different narrative. But right now, we're here, the family is grieving, and we don't want to point fingers at anyone. So as soon as the cameras and the surveillance comes available, we can have a talk, but with no cameras, no official report from the state coroner's office, how do you come up with actually what was the cause of Trey Reed's death? And we won't point the finger that someone's trying to control the narrative here, because technology and cameras will answer all the questions that all of us have.
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Any additional questions from anyone? Okay, go right ahead.
I'm curious, the coroner's report that was released this morning, was the family made aware of that before it was public, and how did they feel as a result?
The family was not aware of the coroner's report prior to it being released, and at this point, we're not going to get into constitutional violations, because that's not what this family is about. This family has this church here in Grenada. They're pillars of our local society, and we're not here to point fingers yet. But we will have answers, and the possible constitutional violations of releasing Trey's name to the media immediately after this happened is a possible constitutional violation. And we will get to that. We will get to that. But for now, the family is asking for answers as to what happened to Trey Reed on the campus of Delta State University, which should have all forms of cameras and surveillance to answer these questions that this family has.
If you don't mind me asking,
Okay.
What you?
Days ahead. From all indications, and I'll say from speaking with the family, the days leading up to this, he was just as fun-loving as ever. We recently had Grenada Day here in Grenada. He was here with his family, and he was joyful and loving as ever. And that's what he's been remembered for being a joyful, loving young man. And when he went back to Delta State University, he was this fun-loving person. And our question is, what happened? If there are no additional questions, thank you all for coming.
I'm gonna say this, man. We done watched enough movies about like stuff like this, right? And it be this little spoiled college kid, right? That end up doing something, right? But because he got these powerful family members, they able to get a whole bunch of stuff swept up under the rug. Now, this is just a theory of mine because I'm pretty sure we done all watch movies like this. For them not to know nothing, for people to not inform them of what was happening first and foremost, and them still not had no answers. This give me those storyline type of vibes. Because, like the lawyer said, it's cameras everywhere. So how don't nobody know nothing? How don't nobody see nothing? It's always, college is people everywhere. It's people always walking. It's people just everywhere. How did nobody see anything? That's how you know it's like some type of, it's a cover-up, bruh. Whether it was allegedly, this is just all a theory to me, but whether it's a teacher involved, a student involved, somebody roaming the campus that shouldn't have been there in the first place, either which way, I feel like the person that did it tried to hide it, went to their people. They people got influence in that college, in that city. When you got power, you have influence. When you have power, you have relationships with a lot of powerful people. And this they way of trying to clean it up. Let me know what y'all think, man. Because we just letting this get past us, and I don't think this should get past us at all, because this could be anybody. And I wouldn't want nobody ignoring something that happened to my family and we don't have no answers to it. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like his family deserves some answers as to why he's no longer here with us. So once again, prayers to that family, condolences to that family, man. Rest in peace, Trey Reed. It's sad, man. When you got to tell people to stay dangerous more than you tell them to stay safe, because the world is dangerous. You know what I'm saying? And depending on what happened and how it happened, where it happened, who involved, you may never get no justice for it, Nick. I don't want to see this be one of them situations where the family don't get no justice, no understanding, no answers as to what happened to Trey Reed. You feel what I'm saying? Now, before we get up out of here, we got to talk about Thugga, man, because he was supposed to drop this Friday. YFN Lucci dropped this Friday. Cardi B dropped this Friday, just to name a few. Now it's just another one of Young Thug's sinister, stupid plans to get some type of traction going with his career, because it's been downhill ever since he came home. It's just like everything that could possibly happen to Young Thug right now been happening, and to, you know, it's still fresh. The interview's still fresh. The controversy's still fresh. The phone calls is still fresh. Now it's looking like Lil Baby trying to get away from it. Is the reason that the album being pushed back because some of the artists that may have been featured on the album ain't clearing the features or scratching their features, and it's messing the album up? Y'all let me know what y'all think about that situation, because it's not looking good for Thugga. And, you know, I think he put himself in this situation. And, you know, once social media and the world over these social platforms turn on you, it's hard to get them back. So I don't know if Young Thug's career get back to climbing, because right now it's declining. And instead of being able to do what he was doing before he went home, before he went to the jail, I mean, how his career was prior to that and how it is right now is two different situations. His career right now is in shambles. And then the people that you hate the most, like Gunna, you seeing them, you watching them become you. Gunna is bigger than he was when the YSL Rico came. He came home, the music spoke for itself. Gunna didn't do no talking. And we see Gunna touring, traveling, his shows is packed, regardless how much the industry don't deal with him. And for Thug, I think that, you know, somebody you invested in, that you felt betrayed by, outdoing you when you felt like you showed them the way in the first place. I don't think Young Thug can live with that. And I think that's one of the reasons why we watching Young Thug do a lot of foolish things, because he hurt. So really we watching Young Thug act off emotions. You feel like most of the niggas you ran with, most of the dudes you helped, betrayed you. You come home, the industry support ain't the same. Certain things start happening to make the few that were still sticking with you start to distance themselves. And that's creating a rift inside his career. And I don't think he could take that. At the same time, happen to watch Gunna succeed. So, do y'all think his album was pushed back because them features got took off? The features that he expected didn't come through? They didn't clear him? Or did Thugga just feel like it wasn't a good look to put it out on the same day as Lucci? Because you reaching when you do that. You went to jail beefing with Lucci. You came home to do something stupid like that when you could just, what's wrong with you putting out your album 2 weeks after? So you be in your own way. Ain't nobody in your way. Then you can see what your numbers organically do. Instead, you would rather constantly throw yourself in competition when your career declining right now. You don't need no competition. You need good music, Thug. Until then, we gonna see what we seeing with a decline. And we gonna continue to see Gunna climb and succeed. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, YSL as a brand is over. You have to rebrand, reinvent, recreate. That whole movement is done. It shouldn't be no more new chains and new YSLT. It shouldn't be none of that. Start over. Start from scratch, man. That whole thing caved in. You got to reinvent. And I don't think Thugga gonna be able to reinvent, man. So y'all let me know what y'all think in them comments. And once again, it's time for that Coach for the Streets, hosted by Mafia and Paint, live from 3300 Trap Street, man. Ain't no news like street news, whether you're here for the news or you're here for the streets. Stay tapped in by tapping that like button. Subscribe to the channel, man. It's time for that. I'm out.